Hello and welcome, everybody. You're here for live market analysis using supply and demand. If you've been here before and you've listened to this before, or if this is your first time, you are going to learn something new. Just let me know in the chat area whether you can see me, hear me, and see the screen. Okay, and let me know where you're from. I privatize the chat so I can only see it and no one else, so it doesn't distract you, because what I'm going to share with you today, this presentation has changed the lives of many traders. Some traders that have been trading for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years without success attended this presentation, and it put them on the right track to succeed. And finally, after all those years, they're seeing success in their trading, consistent profits. So if that's what you want, you're in the right place. Okay? It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. No one ever said that. And if they do, run very far. If you put in the work and you know the exact work to put in, then you can become a successful trader. And again, you have to fit it to your own personality and lifestyle. Hi, Henry. Hi, Marcus. Marcus from Sweden. You're from South Africa, Henry. Welcome. Okay, you probably see me I'm looking to my left screen. I've got two screens in the middle and one on the right. I have 4 screens. You don't need 4 screens to trade. You can trade with 1. Actually, one of my most successful traders only trades using a laptop. Hey, Raymond. So it's really great to have you all here. And I'm going to give you something to think about. And we're going to go through the market today as well, and some trades that's set up today. And you're going to start to understand how to look at the market in a different way, in a way that's simple, in a way that will enable you to spot trading opportunities and finally put you on the path to become a successful trader. Okay, and I say that with confidence because people that have gone down this path most often than not become successful traders. Get rid of all the smoke screens, get down to basics or back to basics. Start building your building with solid foundations. Don't build a building with no foundations and it falls down. And then you build another building with no foundations. Build the foundations first, then build the building on top and it stands. Okay? That's the important. Hey, Mike from USA. No one else can see each other's comments. They're all privatized. I will turn them on if you guys remind me at the end for questions and answers. And let's begin. Okay, and I'm super excited to give this. I've been doing this presentation for a number of years now, almost once a month. This is live for those of you who are here live, watching it live. And you can see we are now at about 4 minutes past 1 p.m. Eastern time on the 9th of March, 2022. People always ask me, is this live? Is it recorded? No, this is live. We're going to look at the live market. Hey, Jane, novice cap trader. Oh, you make me laugh. Anyway, more about Jane later on as well. So quick disclaimer, you guys can read that. Just bear in mind that everything I mention here is for educational purposes only. So what we're going to do, we are going to cover a very important question, which beginning traders and even some advanced traders may ask themselves, why am I, well, if you're more advanced, you ask the question, why am I wrong? Why is this trade not work? And you need to ask that if a trade doesn't work, why? But as a beginning trader, you seem to be always on the wrong side. So you seem to throw your hands up in the air and say, why am I always wrong? What's going on? We're going to go into, I'm going to give you the basics of professional chart reading. And again, you won't find this in any book. If someone can find what I'm going to share with you in a book, then show me the book, show me the page, and I'll be very happy. But I don't believe it is in any book. Then I'm going to teach you a little bit about supply and demand. And then we're going to jump into the live markets. And I've got a list here of what I wanted to look at. I'm going to jump into two trades from today, the setups and how we actually spotted them using the analysis and where our targets were. Then I'm going to go into, we're going to look at the dollar on the monthly chart. And I'm going to show you something very important so you can understand where big trades begin and end and how to do that within this framework of reading the market. We'll look at gold, Bitcoin, NASDAQ, E-minis, crude, and if we have some time at the end, maybe other things as well. Hey, Marcos, he's saying you were talking exactly about my case. How many people here have been trading more than say 5 years and you're not yet successful? Again, you can type a 1 in the room. Just let me know, or you send me an email afterwards to Simon@tradesmartforex.com. I really want to know. I really want to help you. I feel I have my calling in life, or what I feel I really need to do, and I feel I'd be doing everyone an injustice if I didn't do this, is share the knowledge that I have with you, because I know it can help you become a successful trader if you put in the work. Again, trading is not for everyone. If you think you're gonna, start doing the training and become successful immediately, well, without doing any work, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to put in the work that you need to do, but it's worthwhile, because once you get there and you start to understand the principles that I teach, or that we teach in our training, and you see it happening in the live market day in and day out, and start to trust it and start to trust yourself, then you can start to see results. And also you have to tailor-make your own trading plan or style of trading that fits you. Very important. Okay, so let's get down to business now. Okay, so we're also, we'll open up to audience questions and answers at the end as well. Why is this so important that you sit and watch? And who am I to be teaching you? Well, I've been trading many, many years, and I've been teaching traders for over a decade how to become successful. The majority of the people that I teach become successful traders. Some of them go on to run hedge funds, and literally from all walks of life, from all over the world. And it's wonderful to see, especially those traders that have been trading for many years without success, finally become successful. They almost can't believe it themselves. Here's me giving a presentation similar to what I'm going to share with you now. It's never the same every time. I'm going to share with you some new ideas today that I've never shared before. And that's what I did also at the Traders Expo in New York. And I was invited to speak in China at the Bogo Investment Forum with other heads of finance in different countries, ministers of finance, and other well-known authors and traders. And you can see the list of people over here. You can kind of zoom in if you wish. And for those of you here for the first time, here's a bit about me. I actually started my professional life at Credit Suisse, and not on the trading side, but on the computer side of things. And then I was kind of, I met a guy in the gym when I was there, and he offered me a job on the trading floor, and I moved to the trading floor after being with the company for about a year and a half. Then I made myself onto the trading floor, and then it's a whole long story that I won't go over now. But eventually, I left Credit Suisse and I started trading myself for different prop firm called Generic Trading in Philadelphia, and that was in 2005 after doing my Series 7, because we were trading public funds, so to say. And my first trading account I ever traded was half a million dollar account. That's my buying power. Anyway, enough about me. We're here for you, and what I'm going to share with you now will, if you listen carefully, and again, focus on what I'm going to share with you. It might sound simple. It is simple, but listen carefully, because this could change your trading life, and it could have ultimately changed your life. If you want to change your life and you're so frustrated with your results so far with your trading, you're in the right place. And I want you to tell me at the end, this was worthwhile. I'm going to share with you how to take the next step at the end as well. How to do some training that will help you, the next step, the first step that most people take on this journey, if you're ready for this. Even if you don't, I hope what I share with you will be super valuable, and you'll go away and be able to implement part of what you learn, or if not all of what you learn, immediately. That's what you need to do. You need to learn, and then you need to put it into action. Don't just learn and say, oh, that was a nice idea. Go and investigate it. Go and prove it to yourself that it works. I know it works, and every one of my traders knows it works, because that's how they make a living trading. So let's go over the problem. What's the problem, and why am I always wrong? Now, when I started trading, I worked on the trading floor at Generic Trading in Philadelphia, and we had an office, and there were two very, very good traders in that office who were up every day in the first half an hour of the market, half an hour to an hour, they're up anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000, you know, almost every day. Some days I had little losing days, but most of the time they were up. And I used to call out trades, and whatever I called out, I used to walk by and I used to look over their shoulders to see what they were in, see what trades they were in. And whatever I called out as a long, they were on the short side. Whatever I called out as a short, they were on the long side. They did the exact opposite of the trades I called out. So now you're going to understand why. Why am I always wrong? So the market looks something like this. And you may learn something about trend. The market, you know, the market's moving to the upside. It's in an uptrend. You look at maybe using moving averages and prices rising above rising moving averages. That's how many people do it. And you may use the 20-period moving average or the 50 or the 200. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You spot an uptrend. So you take a buy over here. This is your first trade of the day. And it starts to go in your favor. And you think, great, I can give up my day job. You know, I can, this is going to help me in retirement because I don't have enough money coming in for my retirement. This is going to supplement that. And all of a sudden the market turns to the downside and goes against you. You don't have a stop in place because you think every trade's going to work, of course, because it was a perfect setup. It's in an uptrend moving up. Goes against you and you take your first losing trade. You look at the P&L because that's what most people do at the beginning of their trading careers, and they look and they see the big red number on the screen and they're like, Urgh. Sometimes they freeze and they don't get out, but eventually you do. And then the market, then what's happening now? Most traders go into what we call revenge mode. They want to make the money back. They're down, say, I don't know, $500. So they double up on this trade and say, I got it wrong. The direction's down now. I want to be on the sell side. So they take their second trade over here, goes a bit in their favor. They see their P&L, you know, making back some of the money they lost, and they hold on until, because they want to make it all back. And if they did make it all back and the trade was to go in their favor, they'd get out and they wouldn't hold it to the target, if you see what I mean. So what happens now is it goes down in favor and then it goes against them, and they take their second losing trade. Oh dear, what happens next? So now they jump on board again with a third trade saying we got it wrong, it's going up. So they take their third trade over here and then again the market moves to the downside. Oh dear. So they're taking 3 losing trades. So now they say, okay, forget this uptrend, downtrend business. I learned a little bit about support and resistance. Let's join the peaks and the troughs, you know. Up here it goes down and down here it goes up. So when the market goes up to this level, what do I want to do? I want to be on the sell side. So you go all out now on trade number 4 and you sell. And lo and behold, what happens this time? The market doesn't turn down, it goes up. And you take your 4th losing trade, you wipe your account out. Oh my. Now just say a yes in the room if that was you. That was me. I did this as well. And it's so frustrating. It's like, what's going on here? I'm on the wrong side of the market. Whatever I do, I'm on the wrong side of the market. I don't know when I should be buying or selling. It looks good. It looks like I should be selling here. It went down last time, went down the other time, and next time it goes up. Trend. I'm buying in a trend, but then it turns down. What's going on? So frustrating. So what you need to learn about is supply and demand. Okay? Now remember, supply and demand isn't support and resistance. Support and resistance is abstract. Supply and demand is the reasoning behind support and resistance. But you need to understand the reasoning behind. That's what we teach in our training. If you understand what's going on behind the scenes, then you can then it's not just abstract anymore. It's real. You understand there's real orders there in the market, and you understand why the market's moving the way it does. You can trade with much more conviction as opposed to trading blind without understanding just because some indicator turns on and says buy, and then some indicator turns on and says sell, and you've got no idea why. Wouldn't it be better to have an idea why you're doing what you're doing? Wouldn't that give you more confidence? And doesn't confidence lead to better results? That's what you want. You can't trade if you don't have confidence in what you're doing. And you can't have confidence in what you're doing until you know what you're doing and understand it. So you need to learn how to do this once and for all. So this is what I'm going to share with you now. Professional chart reading. This is what I found, and why is it so important? Why did I come across this methodology of trading? Again, there's nothing new, but the way I've put it together gives you a 3-pronged approach to analyzing the market based on price action alone, no indicators needed. And if you put this together, each one of these alone can give you an understanding of the market and a successful, profitable trading plan. Now, when I first started learning how to trade, I was taught to trade the specialist system on the New York Stock Exchange. I was a member of the Philadelphia Stock Exchange and I was trading on the New York Stock Exchange. And we were taught to trade what the specialist was doing. So we would look at the time and sales and the prints going off and looking at the level 2 and the open book, which was the specialist's level 2, the New York Stock Exchange specialist. And we could understand by looking at the patterns of how price of execution of price on the time and sales. So every time an order was executed, it's a buy and a sell. So you saw the time, the number of shares, and the price. That's all you saw. So if you saw time, number of shares, price, and then the next print was higher, you know price is going up. There were certain patterns that we were looking for that would give us an understanding of what the specialist was doing, so we knew where to buy and sell. So we were seeing basically what was happening in the charts by having an edge by watching what the specialist was doing. But there was a big problem. The buzzword nowadays is called disruption. It happens in almost every industry. Blockbuster video no longer exists. New technology comes out. DVDs. Can't buy them anymore. Maybe you can. Records, if you're old enough to remember LPs. So what happened with the New York Stock Exchange is it went partly computerized. So the methodology I was taught to trade no longer worked. So it was back to the drawing board. Wouldn't it be a good idea to learn a methodology that you would never have to change? It's based on fundamental principles of price movement in any market. I've used this in the stock market, the forex market. I've used it in the property market as well. I got out of property at the highs before it crashed. So you can use it as long as you can chart something, you can analyze it and understand what's going on. Okay, everyone following so far? So these are the three things that you need on a backbone, on a tapestry of multiple time frame analysis, if you want to put it like that. You need to understand pivot analysis. That's our way of reading the trend. I'm going to share with you how, towards the end of this presentation, how you can do that training and learn how to do this once and for all. Remember, this analysis is not subjective, it's objective. Two people with the same skill level will read the trend exactly the same, will understand when trends begin and end. Very important. I'm going to show you real examples from today in the live market of how you could have used it to get in and out of trades. Then the next thing you need to do is understand supply and demand, because price moves between levels of supply and demand in the market. And then you need to understand what I call price direction analysis. Everything you learn about Japanese candlesticks, you know, there's a book by Steve Neeson about candlesticks. He was the one to bring Japanese candlesticks from the East to the Western world. Yeah, from Japan to the Western world. Now, there's one type of analysis that we do here. One thing that you need to learn is a couple of nuances, and you don't need to know anything else about Japanese candlesticks besides this. All you need to understand is price going up or down? So imagine price comes down into a demand area and direction changes to the upside. What are the odds? The odds are it's going higher. Put that together with the fact that you are in an uptrend as well, it makes it even higher. So I'm going to show you some examples of that. And then if you do this on multiple time frames, it'll give you an ability to understand. For example, you may be in an uptrend, but the uptrend is coming up on the hourly chart against a daily supply level. That may be where the trend comes to an end. If you don't know that ahead of time, then you will take trades high up on the supply demand curve, even though you're in a trend, and it won't work. Like I showed you on the first example, you'll buy when you should be not buying, where you should be waiting to see what happens, or maybe even selling. And you know what the beautiful thing about this way of trading is? The charts will teach you all you need to know once you have a framework for reading them. No gurus needed. You don't need me, you don't need anyone else. Isn't that great? You don't need to be dependent. You need to be independent as a trader. If you are dependent as a trader, you are never going to succeed. Now, I know a lot of you have gone through programs that breed dependency because the program wants you to keep paying monthly fees to keep in the program. And once you have done course number 1, you need to do course number 2 and 3. And if you don't succeed, they'll come up with another course that you need to do. And you're in this perpetual cycle of learning. You're not going to succeed doing that. You need to stop. Learn what you need to do and put it into practice, and keep doing it until you succeed by learning from your errors, by learning how to read a market professionally, by learning from your own mistakes. Not from and you can learn from someone else's as well, but it's more from you will learn things and develop an edge once you have a framework. Take architecture, for example, or engineering when you're building a building. The principles are the same, but every architect has different style, but they have to keep within the same foundations. Same with trading. Once you've got those foundations down, you can express yourself in the market however you wish, as long as you keep within those foundations. This is the core to understanding price movement in any market. You don't need indicators at all. You can throw them all away. It's the most liberating thing to throw your indicators away. You don't need them. If you can understand how to read price and forget about everything else. Remember, let's take our senses. We've got 5 senses. Yeah? Seeing, hearing, touch, taste, smell. Yeah? Now, take someone who's blind. Someone who's blind, their sense of hearing is much more acute than someone who can see. Yeah. Someone who can't hear, their eyesight is probably more acute than someone, you see what I mean? So if we remove the noise, remove other things, then we can start to accentuate, we can start to really become sensitive to price action without any disturbances. That's what you need to do. And once you can do that, the charts are going to teach you everything you need to know. You'll constantly be learning. You'll constantly be open to what the market's communicating with you. It's a language. You'll be reading the language of price, the language of movement of price, and you will never be the same again. You will never look at a chart the same again. You'll start to develop confidence in your ability to read the market, because guess what? You will look at the market and you'll say, the market's going from here to here, and this is what the probabilities are. If the market does this, the market's going to go to this level. If the market does something else, the market's going to go somewhere else. And you watch the market's going to tell you what it's going to do. Once it does, you know what you're going to do. We don't have any control over the market. The only thing that we have control over is ourselves. So this is why it's so important to learn something that's going to stand the test of time, that you don't want to keep learning something new every 2 years because new technology comes out and what you learn is a waste of time now. It's throw it in the bin. It's been disrupted. That's not a good idea. So let's go back to basics. Everyone knows these are two candlesticks here, okay? Hammer and a shooting star. Now, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I want to jump into the live markets and share with you what's happening right now as well. So, this bar over here, shooting star, just type it in the chat area. Is it bullish or bearish? I want to show you, once you have a framework for reading the market, you can understand what's going on here. This is a trade we actually took in our trading room as this happened, and I explained what to be doing over here. Bullish or bearish? Now let's have a look and see what happens. The market moved up a little bit more, and guess what? Most people look at this bar and they say it's bearish, but guess what? It's actually bullish. And this is what most people think when they see after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours up and you see a bar like this and it comes down. Most people are thinking sell. I'm thinking, and everyone who I've trained is thinking, buy. It's not bearish, it's bullish. Because put it into context of understanding how to read the market. What do you know? Without going into the details, the 3-pronged approach to reading the market, and one of them is trend. Now, let's look at the trend here. The market comes down and puts in a higher low. The trend is moving up. So from a trend perspective, we're moving to the upside. Okay, let's go into supply and demand. This is an area of supply. We just went above the supply zone. The next supply zone's here, hence the market moved down. So there's no supply over here, so why should the market go down? It didn't. It went up, ultimately. It went sideways a bit. Because of that, it went sideways over the overnight session. But ultimately, it went up, not down. It didn't go down at all. It didn't go below the bottom of this bar at all. Why? Because we're not in supply. There's no supply. It can only go down if there's more supply than demand. That's what supply is. So if you're above supply, well, and you know where the next level is, well, it's not going down from here. So from a demand supply perspective, it's going up. It's just cleared above supply. It's cleared through a roadblock. Where's it going now? It's not going to go back through the roadblock. It's going to go to the next one. The next station. Take a train. It's going through different stations. Once it's left one station, it goes to the next station until it gets to the end of the line. This is not the end of the line. This just went through a station. So there's the next station. There's the next station. You see what I mean? Doug, you asked a good question about volume. It depends what you're trading. But no, you don't need to look at volume. I think volume's very overrated. You can look at volume. But again, if you look at volume in the Forex market, for example, then you're looking at one particular broker. You're not looking at the whole market. If you're trading in an exchange traded market, like the futures market or a stock market, like through the New York, then volume, you can look at volume. It doesn't mean so much in the Forex market because you're not looking at all the volume. And that's, you would imagine that each broker would be similar to every other broker, but that's not always the case. Sometimes there may be arbitrage opportunities if one broker's pricing is slightly different to another. So you don't need to look at volume. You can just look at price. And you can see most of what you need to see in price. Now, what's the third thing that we mentioned? Third thing was price direction. What's the direction here? Without going into details, the direction is up. So if I get this bar over here, the trend's telling me it's going up. Supply and demand is telling me it's going up. And the direction is telling me going up. So do I sell here? Definitely not. Never. I only buy here. Or I do nothing. Never sell. This scenario. Now, could it go down? Sometimes it could. Sometimes the market can move against the odds. We all know that. Remember, it's odds. It could be 99% likely, but you have to trade with what happens most of the time. Trade with the odds. Because that's how the market will play out most of the time. So we've gone through understanding that scenario in the market in terms of the framework of supply and demand, price direction, and the pivot analysis. You can understand any market. This is one example where most people would sell and you've got no idea why it goes up because you haven't got this basics or the foundation of reading price action. Once you have that, you can understand every single market. Okay, so what's supply and demand and why is it so important? Well, keep it simple. Prices will always move higher when there's more demand than supply, and they will go lower when there's more supply than demand. Prices move sideways when there's an equilibrium. And I've kind of figured out when price is likely to go sideways before it's in a base. Wouldn't it be a good idea to understand when price is going to base before it goes into a base so that you don't get stuck trading and it goes sideways? Not like, oh, it's in a base. No. And wouldn't it be a good idea to understand how to read a base to know when it's ready to break out? And I'm going to show you some examples of that as well. So what moves markets? Well, very simple. Supply and demand. And guess what? This will never change. So if you understand how to read the market through the lenses of supply and demand, through price action alone, which basically what supply and demand is, then you never need to know anything else. And guess what? It's never going to change. You'll never have to learn something new. So your job now is to identify supply and demand on the chart. I'm going to show you how to do that, the basics of it. Again, it's quite involved, but I'll show you the basics so you can actually understand why prices are moving from and to. And we're going to do that in the live market. So what does it look like? So you're looking for turning points in the market like this. And this would identify a demand zone and where prices drop. Now, not all areas, not all levels where price drops are the same. You want to identify the best ones. Now, to do justice to this, you have to go through the training that will train you on every single type of supply and demand in the market, and then how to look at the supply and demand to know whether price is going to turn or whether it's going to break through it. But let's go through how to identify those high probability turning points. Okay, so it's recommended, and I'm going to share with you how you can actually come into our live trading room for a whole month at no cost at all. Again, there is a cost, but it's going to be together with learning how to read the trend using price action alone. And coming into our live trading room, this has been the best entry into figuring out if this is for you or not. Because once you do it and see it's for you, you want to take the next step. And you start seeing yourself getting results. It's very exciting. And finally, after that, long kind of path of pain and frustration, you finally can see the light at the end of the tunnel when you start to see it works for you. You can understand it, and it's simple. Wow. So I'm going to reveal to you how to find those high probability turning points, but we're just going to go through in order. I'm going to show you how to find trade setups based on this in the market, and I'm going to show you from today's market. So who's ready to jump into the live market? Okay, so let's do it. Let's jump into the live market, and I'm going to go through in order, and let's go through what I did today. Now remember, let's start with the euro dollar. Okay, you can see my charts over here. Okay, now I'm going from the monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 and 5. Again, I used to split my trading up into day trading and swing trading and long-term trading, and now I put all the charts together so I can see what's happening. So my eyes focus on what I need to do depending on what I'm doing, and I can see bigger time frame setups. For example, at the beginning of the year over here, at the beginning of last year, was a short up here on the euro, and the target was down there. Why? Because this was the top of the base. We talked about bases. It's the top of the bases. This is the trend into the top of the base that fails to make a new high and kicks off this move to the downside to the bottom of the base. You see that? So let's have a look at today, and I want to show you something. This is the first time I've ever showed this in public. So here is how we analyze the market. I'm looking at daily. This is what I call price direction. Yeah, and then I'm looking at the price direction on the 4 hour and 1 hour, and I come up with a number system, and it's just the way a point rating system, and it comes out. If you look at the two longs today from the open, this is at 8 a.m. Eastern time. This is where the Forex market opens. It always opens 8 a.m. local time in whatever country. So 8 a.m. in London time is 3 a.m. Eastern time, which is the London Open. This is the US Open. Now, the two best trades today, and we're going to look into the market, were this. Let's see if I can highlight, was this and this. 1 second. This one and this one. Notice it says long and long. Everything else was neutral. Neutral at the open. So these are the two trades I want to focus on, euro dollar and euro yen. So let's go back and look at euro dollar. Where was the euro dollar at 8 a.m. Eastern time? It was here. Right here. We haven't got anything on the right of the chart, but can you see that price? We said it's a buy. And again, if you come into the program now, and I'm going to share with you how to do that at the end of this presentation, you can go and watch the recording of today's session as it was happening and see what we said. Immediately go watch it and you'll see. And then you'll understand everything plus together with what I'm sharing here now. John's asking, is this only for Forex? I'll ask questions at the end. It's for for anything that has a chart. I mean, we're going to look at gold, Bitcoin, the Nasdaq, E-minis. We can look at stocks, whatever you want to chart. We can analyze it and understand what's going on and where price is going from and to. It's for any market in any time frame. Okay. Now, what's happening here? Price came down to the bottom of this monthly base. Came to weekly demand. You can see these are levels. Why here? Because this is, if we look, as we said before, this is the top, this is the bottom. Why is that the bottom? Because this is where price went up from. This is price went up from. This is where price went down from. This is a base. These are the top. That's the top of the base. This is the bottom of the base. It's a monthly base. So when we hit the bottom of the monthly base, what do you want to do? And this was the past couple of days. You don't want to be on the sell side anymore. Look at the move we have to the upside, to the first area. We can see this on the daily chart here. And you can see this also on the 4 hour chart. So when we come in at 8 a.m. Eastern time, our bias, we want to buy up to this level. We're long bias. So how do you get into the trade? Well, you can get in here and you can see from a trend perspective, we're going up. From a direction perspective, we're going up. And from supply and demand, we're above supply. The next supply level's here. And the next supply level, notice we've got a pullback here. And it went up higher. And where's our ultimate target? The price is moving and it's coming from the bigger time frame. So we're looking for a bigger time frame supply area. This is your target. And this is a big trade. Okay? That's one trade. How to trade from demand. And by the way, the whole beginning of this year, we've been on the short side, not every single time, but bigger picture has been short until we get down to this level. Now we're able to switch biases and go long when the market shows us it's going up. Does that make sense? Now, let's look at the other one. Was what I mentioned was the euro yen. That was the other one that we were long biased today. Another beautiful trade. And the trade actually started yesterday. Started on actually on Monday. It started down here. Okay. Now look at this trade again. Let's go back to 8 a.m. Eastern time when the market closed. Now this was a bit trickier because we had to get above this level. But we had a pivot. We've got the probabilities are we're going to break this level. So you can see why. Because we have direction pointing up here. And we're coming from demand, we're coming from demand, we're coming from demand, we're coming from demand, and we're pointing up from demand. Where are we going to? Supply. That's our target area. We had a number of target areas. The original entry for this trade is at 125, around 125 down here. Look how many points it moved. 125 on our targets were 127, 128. It's reached all those targets. It's about 300 pips from down for the original entry down here all the way up with entries. As we continue to move up, you can add to your trade as well. But understanding where price is going from and where's it going to, it could actually go higher. But as a it's reached its target, and you can see also on the weekly chart why. This is demand, this is supply, this is a break of demand here, and this is where we are now. It's a live market right now. Okay, I want to share a few other markets with you. Let's move. We talked about the dollar, so I want to show you the dollar as well, and I want to put this together with trend now, and I want to show you this on the monthly chart. Now watch this. I mentioned this at the beginning when I spoke at the Boga Investment Forum in China, and again, if you want to know more about that, I actually said this was at beginning of January last year. This is what I said. I don't know it's going to hold this level, but this is demand. I don't know if it's a base yet until it pivots here. But watch what happens the next month. I said, if we hold this level, we're going back up here to the 100 level. I said that. I've got a recording of it if anyone wants to see that. I said it right back at the beginning. Now let's see what happens. And we follow this in our trading room on a day-to-day basis. So what happened is we put in the bottom of the base. This is the bottom of the base. But guess what? The market's going down from a trend perspective. So watch what happens. We go up. Now, if we break above here, I know we're going to the top again. But watch what happens. We're still against the trend. The trend is still going to the downside. But watch what happens here. Here is where we break the trend. I know when I get this bar here in the end of June in 2021, which was last year, I know I'm going up here. Why? Because I've broken the trend, I'm pointing up, and I'm coming from the bottom of the base. This is the bottom of the base here. The trend is now no longer down. We broke it, and we're pointing up. So there's only one place we're going, up here. Now let's see how the market played out. Doesn't go in a straight line. I thought we would have got there last year, but we didn't. We stopped. So I said at the beginning of this year, we're going to get there this year. So this is how we stopped. And then we started 2022 over here. Notice how we held this area. It's also demand. Notice how we pivot over here. So I said we're going up. And notice what happens next. We go up. Now again, that's close enough. I mean, we can draw it in a different way, yeah? But this is close enough. We said we're going up to this area. Now it may continue going up more after, but look what happens. We get a turnaround. Now this is what we mentioned today. Let's just make this bigger so you can see. We got up to supply. How do I know it's supply? Because this is where price dropped. Look at the drop here. That's supply. So the target today was down here. We said 98, which was what was 98. We were targeting 98, not all the way. It went a bit lower. Look where we are now, 97, 97. 98, the target today. This is a no-brainer trade. If you know how to read the market, it's almost certainly going down because it hits supply. How strong is that supply? Well, it did all this. Where are you in terms of supply and demand on the bigger time frames? You're in supply at the top. At the top, at the top. So, and we had a down day yesterday that tried to go up and failed. We based. So where are we going? Down, down. To where? To the demand level below. So that's how you pick your targets as well. So you wait till the trend breaks and then you take it to the downside. or you go with the trend. So that's how you do it. Okay, let's move over to another market. Let's go over to gold. I want to show you a few different things. And again, this took me years to figure out. And once you get it and you start to apply it to every single market, I've shown you a few different situations here. Let's show you a few more. Gold, absolutely beautiful. And a few times we've played gold in the past, but let's go to what's happening here. I know that the market's going to base here before it did all this. And again, if you want, you can go back and listen to recordings of the trading room from back then. And I said the market's going to base. And down here, we said the market's going to break above this base. And over here, we said this month, the market's going to, well, even last month, notice we went slightly above the highs here. So we said we're going to go higher. And look, we hit the highs. I'm going to show you that on the on the weekly chart, what we hit. We hit the top of supply. It's not really supply, but it is supply on the weekly chart, not on this time frame. So you can see we had a big move up. But today, what do you want to do? Today, you want to be on the sell side. Why? Well, let's have a look what happened here. If you go left, this is supply. Okay, we can mark it out the top here. We hit supply. Yep. This is the pivot, the highs of the market. But look at what we did. Yesterday we hit this area. What is this area? It's the high of the market. So what happens when you hit the high? Notice you broke up, we were in this kind of area and then we broke and hit here. So today what do you want to do? You want to be on the sell side. Why? Because the market hits supply after a big move up to the highs. It's going to go down. How do you know? Well, watch what happens. Here we get a reversal bar. And if you understand how to read the trend, and then we'll do it here, you understand that we're going, notice we're going up here and then we fail the trend here. From here, I know we're going down when it breaks below this low here. I know we're going down. And notice we broke this pivot, this one. And where did we stop? Why here? Because this is the first demand area on the daily chart. Once you know where it is, that's your target. You don't get out here and go, oh, I get in here and I get out here. And you're like, oh, how many of you have you ever done that before? You get into a trade over here and you go, great, I made $1,000. And then if you would have stayed in, you would have made $20,000. And you kick yourself. You're like, why? You left so much money on the table. You need to maximize trades like this. They don't happen every day that you get massive, actually in the market that's at the moment, we're getting big moves, but these are massive moves. These are massive moves up and massive moves down. Yesterday was a massive move up, but when it hit the highs, look what happened. It dropped hard. And when it tries to go up and can't get back above the high, it's going to go down. Where to? To demand. If it breaks this, it will go lower. So it's understanding how to actually do that. Good question, Asantra. This system plots the levels automatically. No, you plot the levels yourself once you learn how to do it. It's easy once you know how to do it. And 2 people or 3 or 4 people will put the zones in roughly the same place. Again, this is more as you get at the beginning when you don't know what you're doing, it seems very subjective because you don't know what you're doing. It's like everything in life. As you become more skilled, 2 people with the same skill level will do the same things. I taught a group of traders over 10 years ago with 2 other professional traders. We took a group of 20 traders to success over about 2 years. We worked with them and traded with them every single day. And the beautiful thing about it is we used to meet with each other. We traded independently, and the 3 of us used to meet and we used to discuss our trades. We used to take almost exactly the same entries, exactly the same targets, and we came from different walks of life, but we traded the same way. We traded based on supply and demand, based on trend. We knew where the levels were. We got in and out almost at the same time, at the same price. So, but you see what I mean? So, and again, you'll find people at the same skill level understanding this. We're going to, you could short here and get back here, short here, get back. Or if you come in, if you're not trading that time of day, then you're going to get in, a later time of day. We'll answer questions a bit later on. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you that is gold. Okay, let's show Bitcoin. We've called every single move of Bitcoin since Bitcoin futures went live. Every single move. And then the move today was to the upside. Direction up, and it went up. And now we're kind of getting back. And we also called this one to the short side here. Now, this is a bit tricky at the moment, but notice this is levels where price is coming down. We might end up basing in this level unless of course we break above. If we break above this level, we're going to take out that. We're probably going to go back to the highs, or maybe even take out the highs. And if we break below here, we're going back down again. Okay, but at the moment we're holding. So how do you pick the bottom? I'll show you. How do you pick the bottom of Bitcoin? And I think we can show you here the first low over here. Because if you zoom in here and you understand how to read trend, the market goes up here and it comes down. I had some people that getting in. When we saw this happen, the market pivots here and makes a higher low above here. This is the bottom, and look at the move. You get in. I had people that are getting in around $3,000 to $4,000, and we know what happened after that. And we have some other traders that got in on the next move up around the $10,000. We had the same thing that happened over here, and that produced this big move. One of Mike, who helps me run the trading room, he bought Bitcoin at $10,000. Greg bought Bitcoin around $4,000. So, you know, this is more kind of longer term type of trading. But now we're kind of looking like we may be basing in this area. We'll know at the end of the week. If we don't get above here, then it's looking like a base. We're in this zone. Okay, next market. Let's look at the NQs. I'm just showing you it works in every market, every time frame. Doesn't matter if it's a stock, doesn't matter if we're trading futures, doesn't matter what market. As long as you can, you know, because what makes these bars here, what makes these candlesticks? It's people, human beings trading. It's a supply-demand equation. Okay, let's go to the NQs. Okay, so we picked the market top. Okay, we said this was the market top, and it is the market top for now. But what happened today? We're in demand. So what did the market do? Look at our level here on the daily chart. This is demand. Let's take this off. So what is likely to happen today? It's likely going to move up to supply, because that's what happened here. Yeah. Now, where is the supply? It's exactly where we are now. Why is the market starting to go down here? Because we just hit a zone. Notice it's on the chart ahead of time. This is demand. This is demand. This is demand. And the market went up today. Okay, so it's best to be on the buy side, but not now. Now it's starting to move down again because you hit supply. You don't want to buy it and move up into supply. Not a good idea. So when you know where those levels are, you can sell, but you want to get out here or maybe wait and see what happens, depending on what time frame you're trading on. But intraday today, you want to be on the long side. And you want to watch and see what happened. The trend is just broken here and we're moving to the downside again. So as you can see, we just broke below here. We failed to make a new high. We're pointing to the downside. We're in supply. Same thing in reverse. So we're going down again. Now we've got various levels of demand beneath us that may actually push us higher and maybe break this level. But you don't want to be on the buy side into this level and sit through this. Now let's look at another market. Let's look at the E-minis. E-minis, same thing. Down to demand levels. Down to demand levels. And a move up. Now, this market put in a top in a slightly different way to the NASDAQ. This market is what we call a bull trap scenario and a reversal over here. And I called out in our trading room, this is the market top for now. That's it. That's the market. Once this bar closes, that's the top and we're going down here. Where are we going down to? Till we hit demand. We've got various levels on the way. We pushed up and then we went lower. We pushed up and maybe we'll go lower or maybe not. I don't know yet. We don't know what the market's going to do until it does it. But we know when the market does something, what's likely to happen next. So I know when I see this, the market's going down. Yeah, I know down here the market's most likely going to bounce, and I know up here the market's most likely going to go down. This is supply, this is demand. Once you know how to figure out those levels, this is on the bigger time frames. Okay, let's go to another market. Let's go to oil. Okay, oil, another beautiful market to trade. And again, we've been kind of long this market since it went down when the futures contract went to, was it minus $37 down here? You don't see it on this chart, but when the futures contract hit minus 37, it was a good buying opportunity. Now look again, what happened here? Where did the market hit today or this week? Let's look at it. This is a weekly chart. we hit supply. There's a supply level here and here, and we have big drop. Now, notice that I said in our trading room that we're going to break this level. Why? Now let's have a look. Why are we going to break a level? Well, we broke this level. Now, notice where we came down to today. Today we dropped down to this area, to around the 105 zone or whatever. Why? Because this is a level that we broke above. Notice over here, we broke above this level. And I have a general rule, if we're going down, we usually go to the second level down, not the first, okay? Because the first is where novice traders get in, which may be here. You try and get in, and then it goes down and knocks you out, and that's where the other traders get in. Professional traders. Yeah, it may go down more, but yeah. So understanding that supply up here, you don't want to be on the buy side up here. Notice where it came back up. Notice today's, you want to be on the short side today. Where to? Down here. Once you know where the levels are. So that's oil. Actually, there was, let me just, there was a market. Yeah, I think it was gold that broke above a level. Let me see if we don't have the zones here. Let's put them back. It's daily, weekly, and monthly. Yeah, it was this level here. You can see it here. So we said that we're likely going to break this level and this level. You can see we broke this level. We hit it once, twice, 3 times, break. You see, this is not a bearish bar. Notice price continued going higher, okay? This one could be a bearish bar. We don't know yet. It hasn't closed yet. We'll have to wait till the end of the week. And it hit the top. It hit supply. And you can see how the market reversed again. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Was this useful? Did you learn something new? I'll just do a quick poll over here. Yeah, let's start poll. You'll see it. And let's go here. You'll see it pop up on the right. Did you learn something new? What I just shared with you now. Again, there's a lot to take in, but it's very, very simple. There's only 3 things to learn. Okay, feel free to hit the. Okay, we have questions and answers. We'll do that shortly. Leave all the questions and answers to the end. I'll go through them on our, and again, if you put question on it, I'll go through that first. And for those of you who are watching the replay, then you feel free to send me an email to simon@tradesmartforex.com with the number 4. Okay, there you go. So everyone who answered the poll learned something new. That's great. So, you know, that's wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay, let's move on. Now, let me share with you something. This is super exciting. I'm so excited to share this with you every single time. But listen carefully to what I'm going to share with you. This is not a sales pitch, okay? I'm not here to sell you something. I'm here to open up an opportunity to you if it's for you, if this is something that's going to help you. Okay, I don't want to sell you anything. I want you to do something because you want to do it and it's going to help and be beneficial to you in your life. And I have, you know, I'm here to serve you, to help you get to your to success as a trader. So think of it like that. And if I didn't do this, the world would be lacking something. You'd be lacking something if you needed this and I wouldn't be sharing it with you. Not everyone who's a successful trader is willing to share with you what they do. I have conversation with many traders. They work so hard, but they're not willing to share. Or some of them understand, you know, can trade, but they don't know how to teach. So I do both. And I really enjoy seeing people get results. That gives me a sense of satisfaction and a sense of purpose to know that I've impacted the life of other people and I could impact your life. So here's one story. And Jane's with us here. I'm going to actually, let me put the chat back on so everyone can see everyone else's chat. Let me have a look, see if I can do that quickly. So I've publicized all the chat. So everything you type now, everyone will see, okay? Let's put that back. Okay, so I want to share with you about Jane. And listen carefully it's not, I'm just sharing you part of a story, but listen carefully to what she says. You'll learn something from it. There's a lot of wisdom in there, okay? And Jane's one of the most amazing people that you will come to meet. And she's an amazing teacher. She not only teaches trading now, she teaches skiing, she teaches in university, she teaches children English. She lives in Austria, she teaches children English in Austria. So she teaches children, she teaches at university level, many different courses. She loves teaching, she's a natural teacher. She came to me a number of years ago, and it took her 3 months. She did the exact training and came to the trading that I'm going to share with you soon. That's what she did. And ultimately, she went through the rest of the training afterwards. But she went to beginner, show you how to do it. Beginner to consistent profits in 3 months. And she's been consistently profitable ever since, which is over 5 years now. Now, listen to what she says. Listen carefully, because you'll learn something from it. The purpose of this is not to sell you something. It's just to show you what you can do and show you what she did and learn how she did it. So all I can say to anyone who wants to consistently profit, just do it. That training turned my whole trading around. The training, how to read the trend. Yep. From that day on, my trading has been so consistent. It's really mind-blowing. Once you understand the levels and can read the trend, you will beat the market every single day. However, the key is follow the pivot analysis, use the demand and supply levels, and adapt it to your own trading style. Be very disciplined. Don't be greedy. Stop when you've made your daily profit, and you will turn losing trades into winning consistently day in and out. Simon's training can be adapted to any market. I mainly trade the NQ and the CL, oil and NASDAQ futures. I use my own strategy based on Simon's education. Now hear this. I found the best thing was knowing what you are doing gives you confidence in your trades, and the fear of losing was gone. Trading had become a lifestyle, no longer a buy new gamble or a nervous hope job. Believe me, it's the best and only training to succeed with. That's all the training that she did at the beginning. Norman. Now, this is the beauty of it. Listen to this carefully. Jane now has a training with me called Trading NQ at the US Open. She's now training traders. People are doing her training now. Now listen to what Norman says. Having been duped in the past to purchase useless courses, I had been reluctant to take the plunge, but having seen Jane trade and indeed having spoken with you, I was satisfied that I was dealing with genuine people and not the charlatans who dominate the online educational space. I was not disappointed. The course was far and away the best online training education I have experienced. My congratulations to you both on the course and your sincere efforts to advance your members' trading skills. You hear that? We sincerely want you to succeed as a trader. We want to help you. We want you to get results. We're not here to sell courses. We're here to make a difference in your life. And one of my mentors said, if you don't pay attention. You don't take it seriously. So offering something to someone for free, they won't do it. They won't put the effort in. Once you've paid for something, you're invested, and you will most likely get results. If you don't pay, you're not going to take it seriously. You're not going to do the work. You're just going to be another one of those courses, another one of those freebies. I want you to get results. You want to get results. So invest in yourself and start to do what you need to do to get on the right path to get results. Follow the path of people that have done it before you. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Go and look at the majority of people trading. They fail miserably for years. But what I've managed to do and what Jane's managed to do is take people to success who have failed miserably for years, or people that are lucky enough to come in at the beginning to become successful right from the beginning. And they've got no idea why people are failing, because it's so simple once you know what to do. And once you know what to do, and when you have confidence, you don't have that fear anymore. And once you understand about everything else you need to understand with trading, like risk management and everything, you understand what your risk is before you take a trade. So there's nothing that's not known. You know what you're risking before you get in. So what are you afraid of? When you buy a lottery ticket, to make a comparison, you have to pay for the lottery ticket. That's what you're risking. If you don't win, you never get that money back. So when you take a trade, you're paying to do the trade. That's your risk. If the trade doesn't work, you don't get that money back, but you take the next trade because the next one may work. There's a video that we did of Jane's live trading, just so you can go and watch it. The first trade she did was a losing trade, but she didn't. So what? She took the next trade and it was a winner, and it all ended up good. She made back much more on the next trade that she lost on the first one. It happens. We have losing trades. But if it's the end of the world when you have a losing trade and you don't manage risk properly or manage yourself properly, you're never going to succeed as a trader. So here's the most important thing that you need to know. The best investment you can make in life is in yourself. I think someone asked a famous investor, I can't remember who, but what was the best investment you ever made? I think it was Warren Buffett. Don't quote me, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it could be Warren Buffett. Someone asked him, what was the best investment you ever made? He said, in myself. Because if you become a better person, your life's better every single day. It's not buying something, whatever. It's not having, and hear this as well, what I learned from one of my mentors as well. It's not having resources that really matters. It's being resourceful. I'd rather take someone who's able to be resourceful than has resources. There's many people with resources that aren't resourceful and they lose everything. They've got money and they just blow their account. I have someone that came to me with $1 million account. They had resources, but they weren't resourceful. They lost everything. They got down to $10,000. Hey, Simon, can you help me make it back? I said, why didn't you start with a $10,000 account and learn how to trade first before you put $1 million on the line? So for things to change, as Jim Rohn said, you have to change. You're going to have to make a change. For things to get better, you have to get better. If you want a better life, you have to be a better version of yourself. But knowledge by itself won't get you anywhere. Just listening to this, if you don't do anything with it, if you don't take action, you'll never get to the next level. And you don't want to look back and say, at the end of your life, and say, I had an opportunity, I didn't take it. It was only so-and-so money, it could have turned my life around. And I kept going round and round in circles, going nowhere till the end of my life. And I look back. Do you know how painful that is? You know how I feel it. People come to me and it's not the money, they've got money. But it's just the time they've invested in trading that they haven't succeeded. They don't want to turn back at the end of their life and say, I wasted all this time and I didn't succeed. At least they want to succeed so that they know that all the time they put in wasn't a waste of time. Nothing more painful than wasting time. Time's the most valuable asset we have in life. It goes and it doesn't come back. Money comes and goes. Invest in yourself. Make yourself the best version of yourself you can be, so that you can get where you want to get to in life. And it's not just having physical possessions. It's having that sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that you achieve something. That's more valuable than anything. Many people can be successful without feeling that sense of achievement. That's not success at all. That's failure. So now you've seen a simple and powerful approach to reading the market. I'm going to share with you how to take it further. The next step is learn how to read the trend using pivot analysis if you don't know how to do it. And many people have done this training before. They thought they knew, but they didn't. And what are the benefits of learning how to read the trend? It's the first thing you need to learn when you're learning how to trade. You're going to trade in the direction of the trend. The trend is your friend until the bend in the end. You'll know when a trend begins, when a trend ends. And I've shown you some examples now. You can go back and watch the replay later of picking the tops and bottoms in markets. I may do another presentation, sometime this year about how to pick tops and bottoms, how to catch falling knives, how to know the market's a top and bottom. And I'll show you examples of that. And it's almost the same every single time. It's the same. There's the same things that happen every time and time again in the market. And understanding those patterns will give you a sense of confidence and understand the probabilities of them working as well. Make sure you're never fighting the trend. Make sure you're on the right side of the market. And then you can develop a profitable trading strategy once you know how to read the market or enhance an existing trading strategy. So here's my invitation to you. And again, this is not for everyone. I mean, if you want to succeed and you want to get yourself on the right track, start here. And this is what you're going to learn. How to read the trend. Plus, as I said, you're going to have access to the trading room for 1 month. This is what you're going to learn. How to identify the current trend of the market. To analyze the trend in multiple time frames. How do you reconcile trends? If you're in an uptrend in one time frame and a downtrend, what do you do with that? Exactly when a trend begins, exactly when a trend ends. Isn't that a good idea? To know exactly when it happens and where it happens? And how this knowledge will dramatically affect your bottom line. You'll be able to pick market tops and bottoms or turns. And you'll be able to watch us analyze and trade in the live markets in real time. And again, here's what people are saying. Ernest. Simon, this is phenomenal. I've been trading, studying for 3 years. Sadly, it's all been the wrong process. I've wasted tons of money, time, and effort. I've actually deleted all of those programs, indicators, etc., and now completely focus on what I've learned from your program. It's the only real way to trade, and it makes complete sense. Tom, I wanted to say that what you teach in How to Read the Trend training course is brilliant. Before that, I'd picked up bits and pieces from different traders, but it was never joined up. Your course brought it all together in a very structured and algorithmic way. No guessing needed. The facts jump off the chart. Matt, the trading room is very helpful in understanding how to go through the process. I showed you part of that today, the process we go through, how to identify trades before they take off, before they happen. I've been trading for 11 years and I've not seen anything like what you do. Love how simple it is. I mainly trade options with trades that last 30 to 60 days. I've been looking for something I could use to day trade for 2 years now. I want to round out what I'm doing with another source of profit. I've not been able to find anything I could execute consistently. I'm just paper trading with your system, and I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I've had far better results than anything I have ever tried. This is what you get. It's about an hour and a half. Again, I'm very conscious of your time. You know, I don't want to waffle on for hours and say, oh, the course is 50 hours long and you're not going to watch 50 hours of training. Watch an hour and a half. Watch it many times. Learn it. Come and watch it in practice. Practice it yourself. Master it and succeed with it. It's on demand. You can watch it as many times as you want. You get personal access to me. And again, the most important thing is you're going to get 1 month access to the live trading room. Our subscription is $497. We also have an online trading community. You're never going to trade alone. You've got the support of a group of professional traders or traders in the making. Everyone there is to help each other. Everyone works together to help each other. If you've got questions, you can ask other people. People share their trades. People share their experiences. Jane shares her experience and she'll give you, if she's got time to post it, she'll give you what to look for before the market opens and the levels and where to get in and out. And you could just follow that and you'd be successful. If you followed it blindly without even questioning it, you'd be successful. So this is your access to our 24/7 Discord community. And you can see here, there's trades mentioned here, levels, and everyone discussing it. So here's the offer. And I'm going to pop it, for those of you who are here live now, I'm going to pop it up on the side. And again, stay with me for a few more minutes or so. And let's start the offer over here, publish it. And you'll see it pop up on the side. Now click on that and I'm going to share with you exactly how to go through this. Now, the regular price is $894 to do 1 month in the live trading room and How to Read the Trend. Deadline's 2 days from now, whenever you're watching it. Receive, you're going to get $497 off. So today you only pay $397 to figure out once and for all. This could be one trade, yeah? One trade. You know, I do live trading sessions with people and they make more money in the live trading session than they pay me. You see what I mean? So that makes it a no-brainer, doesn't it? So here, this is $397. Come and join our community of traders. Come into the live trading room. Do the training, put it into practice, see how it's put into practice every single day, see how we pick tops and bottoms and turning points and do it accurately and successfully on a day-to-day basis. See it for yourself. Do it for yourself and you'll see it works. And it can work for you as well. So also there's a link if you want to go to this link. You can't click on it, but you can type this into your browser, tradesmartforex.com, the number 4.com/promo. It will bring you to this same page. And over here, so again, if you join now, How to Read the Trend, it's $397. 1 month in the live trading room, $497, total $894. Today, you only pay $397. Now, let me show you. I'll do this very quickly. Okay, so if you go to my website, tradesmartforex.com, the members area here, once you join, you can click here and it brings you to the members area. Okay, and I'll show you that the members area is here. And How to Read the Trend is in here. The trading room is here. You get to this page and you click here and you go to the checkout. You fill out your details here. Now, notice, it says $497 monthly. That's after the first month and you can cancel at any time. But most people stay in the trading room after that. You can stay as long as you want or as little as you want. It's up to you, but you might want to stay in the community. But try it for 1 month. You don't have to make that decision today. You've got a whole month from today, okay? So $397 will get you in for 1 month, get you access to our community. You can speak to other traders. You can trade with them as well. You can share your screen and trade live with them if you want. That's what they do. Sometimes they trade live together and you can join them on the Discord server. Okay, so it's $397, and you fill out all your details over here, and then you will be emailed immediately, pretty much immediately, your login credentials, and then you can get in with also a link to the membership site, or you can go, as I said before, you can go through members from my main website. You go in either into education and training or into trading room. Education and training's here. You only get access to how to read the trend at the moment, which is the first session 1, which is a standalone session, so that you watch it over here. And the trading room is over here. We have a live trading room, and it's got a schedule in there, and you just click in the link to come in live when we run live. We have that every daily trading room session is recorded, so you can watch the session from today immediately if you join now. And we have a weekly preparation session where we have the current week and the previous week if you want to go and look at what we said the previous week. So you'll see longer term trades called out in the weekly preparation session, what we're looking at, where we're looking for market to move to. And then you'll see as you come on the daily sessions how we take the bigger picture and we filter it down to the lower time frames, so that we make sure we're trading in the direction of on the lower time frames in the direction of what we are on the bigger time frames, so we get better trades and what we're looking at. Okay, so that's basically it. So again, how to read the trend, $397. 1 month in the live trading room, $497. Total $894. Today it's just $397. It's nothing. You know, I'm sure most of you have lost that on one trade, if not more. I want to take this opportunity. I know we went on a little longer than an hour. I like to keep it to an hour, but I'm so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about helping you get on the right track, helping you get results, and seeing traders who go through the training and finally succeed at the other end and go on. It's very fulfilling for them and for me to see them succeed. And it's the most wonderful thing. It's the start of a wonderful relationship. And you know, it's if that's what you want and you're willing to put in the work and come and join our community. And again, for $397, you can come and join the community for a month, join the trading room, go through some training and see if this is for you, see if it's a good fit. So a huge thank you for being here. If you were here live, thank you so much for attending and spending time with me. I hope it was, you know, you learned something. Even if you don't do the training, you learned something that's going to be beneficial to you going forward. Okay, that was the idea, to share with you something that you can take away and put into practice, even if you don't do the training. Okay, if you do the training, if you are coming in, welcome. I'll welcome you personally tomorrow in the live trading room. Introduce yourself, say hi in the Discord. And this is the link again. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And I wish you all the best of luck on your trading journey, wherever you happen to be. Put the effort in, learn a way that works for you, and go on and succeed. Thanks a lot, everyone.